The new Warframe update, Koumei and the Five Fates, is just 2 more days away, and it will bring tons and tons of new stuff as well as changes to many older systems. So, in today's guide, I'm gonna give you some suggestions as to what you can do right now before the update launches to prepare and make sure that you can get all the new and shiny stuff day one. Big thank you to all our generous channel members who helped me keep the lights on. And now, let's jump right into it. And first things first, of course, let's talk about the new Warframe Koumei herself. Just as a quick recap in case you didn't see the dev stream, DE announced that Koumei will be tied to Cetus and the Plains of Eidolon, meaning that there will be some type of new mission or maybe new bounty type in the Plains of Eidolon where you can get Koumei from, as well as a certain resource that you can trade in for the Koumei parts that you didn't get dropped, as well as her signature weapons. They also said that Koumei will be available for new players too, so it's not just for Steel Path players going back to the Plains of Eidolon, but also if you're relatively fresh to Warframe, you can still go there and get her early on. So now, with all that being said, what can you do to prepare for Koumei herself? First of all, a quick disclaimer, what I'm about to say is pure speculation on my part, and there haven't been official announcements by the devs themselves as to how it's gonna look in the end, but just given the fact that Koumei will be the Shrine Maiden of Cetus, I think it would be fair to say that it is a good idea to have at least the Saya's Vigil quest done, that being the intro quest to the Plains of Eidolon that you can do very early on in the game already. In case you're a new player looking out to get Koumei as soon as possible, then you might want to talk to Konzu and start the quest before the update launches, you know, just in case. Then, unfortunately, they also didn't tell us which resources we need to craft Koumei's components, but because they mentioned that she will be available early in the game for new players already, I assume it's not going to be crazy late game resources, so either it's the stuff that you get on the first few planets, that would be the ideal case, or she will at least require some of the resources that you get from the Plains of Eidolon, meaning, if you ask me, it would be a safe bet to jump in, do some Cetus bounties, go fishing, go mining, you know, all that kind of stuff, so you already have some Plains of Eidolon resources prepared. And just by the way, if you could prepare a click on the like button for me, that would be super nice for me because it helps the channel big time with the YouTube algorithm, so cheers so much for your support. Now, as we just talked about Koumei, she does not come alone. Koumei also brings 2 new signature weapons into the game, those being the Higaza umbrella sort of rifle and the Amanata, which is, if I'm not mistaken, a staff type weapon, and they will also be available in the same way as Koumei, meaning whatever I just said also of course counts for those 2 weapons. However, when we're talking about the Higaza and the Amanata, there is one more detail to mention that we freshly learned from Pablo on X, and that's what I want to talk about right now. See, because of the fact that Koumei and her 2 weapons are sort of a more new player-friendly thing that you can get early on in the game, that means those weapons are not going to be as powerful by default in later game content. However, to make sure that also later game players and Steel Path Tenno have their fun with the 2, there will be 2 new mods added to Teshin's shop that are exclusive to the Higaza and the Amanata. One of them was already disclosed by Pablo, this being Higaza Serration, and those 2 mods are meant to be purchased by Steel Essence, so they're for Steel Path players only, hoping to amp up the damage potential of those 2 weapons to Steel Path standards for those Tenno who want to use them in later game content. If you ask me, that's a great idea, and if you want to get those 2 mods for yourself, then you might want to go and pre-farm some Steel Essence as soon as they're added to the game. But let's talk about some other Warframes, because not only will Koumei be added to the game, but also there will be tons of reworks to older Warframes, some of them being very, very nice, specifically the one for Nova and for Caliban. I can see those Warframes being very strong going forward, so let's talk about them for a minute. First of all, with the launch of the update in 2 days, everybody who logs into the game from that point on for 2 weeks will get a free copy of Caliban, including Orokin Reactor and Inventory Slot, so if you're curious for the Caliban rework, then please don't go and buy or farm him just yet, because you're gonna get him very soon. However, most importantly here, Nova is currently part of the Prime Resurgence, meaning not only can you have fun with the normal Nova from this update on, no, if you want to amp up your game a little bit, you can even go and farm yourself Nova Prime for the next, I think, around 3 weeks before they will put her back into the vault. So, not necessarily something you have to do before the update, but given the fact that you're going to be very busy after the update launches, maybe right now would be a good point to go and farm some more Aya to get the Nova relics and form your Nova parts. And then, once you have all the Aya you need, just head over to Maru's Bazaar, talk to Varzia Dax, and then you see right here all the relics that can contain Nova parts, so you can craft her for yourself before tackling all the other stuff that comes with Koumei and the 5 Fates. However, if you thought that a new Warframe with new signature weapons and tons of changes to pre-existing Warframes was already enough, then you would be mistaken, because we get even more new weapons, those being 5 new Incarnons added to the game. Just in case you're curious, these will be the Incarnon adapters for the Dera, the Sibaris, the Sikaris, Okina, and Sestra. In case you happen to have ribbons for them, then A, either keep them because they might get more useful, or wait until the launch of these weapons to sell them, because I'm pretty sure the prices will go up once they're out. Now, just like all Incarnon adapters in the game, also these new 5 will be obtainable from the Steel Path circuit, but if I recall it correctly, then a while ago DE said that all new Incarnons that will be added to the game will also be obtainable from Cavalero in the Incarnon shop, where we currently already have these few right here, so I'm pretty confident that also these new 5 will be purchasable 420p from Cavalero 2 once they're out. Meaning, if you don't want to go through the circuit, you might want to spend some time right now trading and farming platinum to be able to buy your favorite Incarnon adapter day 1. And then, of course, speaking about Incarnon adapters, it always costs Duviri resources to fully evolve your Incarnon weapon, so in case you're short on these, you might want to do some Duviri runs in the upcoming days to stack up on those resources, specifically the Pathos clams, because for every Incarnon adapter so far, we have needed 20 of them to put it on that weapon, meaning if you wanted to evolve all 5 new Incarnons day 1, you would need 100 Pathos clams in total, meaning you have to slay quite some aura worms. So, go out and do it right now. The next big topic for today will be the Companion Rework Part 2, which will bring tons and tons of new offensive capabilities to our Sentinels as well as to our Beast-type companions, so let's also spend 1 minute talking about those. First and foremost, right now I cannot tell you which companions will be super great going forward and which won't. I will put out a video about the Companion Rework once I've done all my tests, so make sure to leave a sub to not miss it out day 1. But one important thing for you right now would be the new mod Loyal Retriever. This one is basically a revamped version of the loot buff that the Smida Kavat can give you. However, it has the added benefit that you can put it not only on the Smida, but on any Beast-type companion in the game. So I think it is fair to say that this one will be quite meta going forward. Naturally then, you want to have that for yourself, and when the update launches, it will be available from the Cetus Conservation vendor right here. However, if you already own a Smida Kavat by the point that the update launches, you get Loyal Retriever for free. So in case you don't like conservation and you don't want to talk to this guy here, then try to farm yourself a Smida before the update launches to get this one for free. But unfortunately, I think you won't be able to completely dodge conservation vendors, because we get tons of new mods, those being beast postures, sort of stance mods for when your beasts attack enemies. Those new beast postures mods are meant to modify the AI of your companion so that they behave in a certain way that you want, and we're gonna get over all of them in my upcoming video. But just for you to know right now, all of these posture mods are going to be available from the various conservation vendors, either on Earth right here, or from Biz on Venus, as well as Sun on Deimos. Now, what the devs did say is that you don't need standing to buy them, but conservation tags, so you might want to actually do some conservation and farm up on the tags right now. And I'm also not sure if these mods are going to be tied to a certain rank with the factions in those open worlds, but I personally think it would be fair to say that reaching at least level 3 with the Ostron, the Solaris, and the family on Deimos would be a nice thing to do, because there's a lot of stuff that gets unlocked as soon as you reach rank 3 with either of them, meaning it's always a good thing to have that. And finally, a short but very important topic, and that would be Forma. Yes, we have a ton of new stuff coming into the game, we have reworks to existing stuff, and all our companions will now have companion weapons that you might or might not want to mod yourself, so it's fair to say that you will need quite a lot of Forma to do all of the nice things that you might have in mind right now. Meaning, in case you haven't already, start farming those Forma blueprints and get building in the foundry, as well as maybe trade for some platinum to get those juicy 3-packs of Forma for 35 platinum. If you can, then better start doing it now, so you don't have to slog through all of this when the update is out. And in case you still don't know what exactly the new update brings, then definitely also check out my dev stream recap right here. Another massive shoutout to Niels V, Demon Lord Zell, Demon Emperor, Emperor Prime, Nost Linux Gaming, Turtlepeer, Ondakani02, Streamjet21, Synapking 5000, Mihawk HE, Yagis, Hokey Hunter, and all other generous channel members for your continuous support. We see each other, hopefully in the next one, and until then, as always, good loot.